Alright everybody, let's talk about some Mass Effect Andromeda. Now Bioware recently came out and said that on April 4th they're going to come out and address everything Mass Effect Andromeda. Now this is good news. Developers don't always come out and talk about the problem straight away, so this is very good news. Now the game does have issues. I've said before that I really like the game, but you have to admit when there's issues. I've only had one problem, and that would be when the game's transitioning from gameplay to cutscene, I'd have a bug, and then it would basically stay on the loading screen. You know, not end of the world stuff, but still an issue that needs to be addressed. People are walking into rooms, in areas, and there's no ambient light, there's no textures, it's just a dark void, and that's a problem. So that needs to be addressed too. And let's talk about animations, because people are just saying funny animations, without actually talking about it, because there's very particular reasons why the animations look weird, and I'm actually going to talk in depth about them. So here we go. When a game like this has that much dialogue, they cannot mocap the voice acting. They just can't. There's too much dialogue. So they have software and they animate by hand, you know, and it takes time. So I think that it may be a while before we get better animations for the voiceover. It's unfortunate, but I understand that it's going to take time. And another thing is that when it comes to animations, people are saying people look weird. There's a very particular reason why characters don't look right. People keep saying, but Mass Effect 1 had better animations. Now the reason why people are saying this is because human characters in Andromeda look weird. But the reason they look weird is because everyone looks like they're staring. When you are naturally talking to someone, you can't see a person's entire iris. The upper eyelid is just slightly lowered a bit. The problem with Mass Effect Andromeda is that the whole iris is unshown. So basically it looks like they're staring at you weird all the time. And I'm guessing that might be an easy fix. A way to just, you know, slightly lower characters' eyelids. So that could be addressed. And Sarah Ryder, the default Sarah Ryder, is almost always smiling, and it looks weird. You know, when you go to the create a character screen or start a new game screen, default male Ryder is just, you know, his face is, you know, relaxed, normal. Sarah Ryder is default smiling, and it looks odd. You know, when a character is smiling all the time, it just looks really weird. So that needs to be addressed. You know, the animation thing, those are going to be the things that are going to take the longest time. People need to calm down though when it comes to everything wrong with the game. You know, these are people. But some of the things people are saying to the developers is just frankly disgusting. Like, you can be constructive with your criticism, but you don't have to be disgusting about it. You can talk about what's wrong with the game and still be respectful. But some of the things I've seen is just terrible. Like, people need to act better towards developers. Now, there's things wrong with the game that I think need fixing that aren't really bugs. It's more like they are the gameplay design choices. So in Mass Effect Andromeda, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot. You know, in the previous games, all that was going on pretty much was there was combat, there was dialogue, there was you walking around, and you leveling up and putting, you know, attribute points to things. That was pretty much it. In Mass Effect Andromeda, there's a lot of different gameplay mechanics. The problem is that the tutorials aren't that good. You know, there should be more prompt tutorials, and there should be basically a better way of conveying what you need to do to learn these things in Andromeda. And one of the things that I've had an issue with the game is that Mass Effect is a series. is known for its fantastic soundtracks. You know, and when you played a previous Mass Effect game and you went into combat, the battle music would play. Iconic battle music from Mass Effect. And in this game, while there is music sometimes in combat, not all the time, but sometimes, you can barely hear it, and the music isn't... it just doesn't stand out. Like, you go into combat in Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, like, that music just stands out and it's really good. In this game, it isn't there. And like I said, Mass Effect Andromeda doesn't have music playing all the time when you're in combat. Another thing is that when you're just walking around on a planet, just doing anything, you know, that isn't combat, you'd have ambient music playing, and that ambient music would be good, you know, it would just fit Mass Effect. The problem with Andromeda is that it doesn't really have ambient music playing all the time, and that's kind of odd. Like, I get that this game in particular is going to be a long game, so maybe they didn't want music playing all the time, because it may get a bit repetitive, but wouldn't you think ambient music tracks would be made for each planet? Have several different tracks, like, and have them play at different times? Because the game just seems quiet all the time, and for me that's an issue. But they're going to come out and address the game. And another thing that needs to be addressed is the post-launch content. We know nothing. All we know is that there's going to be no season pass and the multiplayer map packs are free. We know nothing about expansion packs or anything. Are they even going to do expansion packs? I hope they do, because Mass Effect 2 and 3 had some of the best expansion packs I'd say ever made. Anyway, that's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, hit like and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. I'm out. Have a good day.